Hello everyone, I'm Josh Rubenstein, Public Information Director for the Los Angeles Police Department. This critical incident community briefing is intended to provide you with information about an officer-involved shooting that occurred in Central Division in the city of Los Angeles on May 30th, 2020. You're about to see relevant video footage and learn about other evidence and police procedures related to the case, so you can have a better understanding of what occurred based on what we know right now. The LAPD conducts very thorough use of force investigations, which typically require investigators to interview multiple witnesses, view numerous hours of video footage, and analyze a significant amount of forensic evidence. We're still at the very early stages of this investigation, which can often take up to a year to complete, and our understanding of the incident may change as this additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. We also do not draw any conclusions about whether the officers acted consistent with our policies and the law until all the facts are known and the investigation is complete. A word of caution. The images and information you're about to see may be disturbing. When a police officer uses force to arrest a suspect or defend against an attack, it can be graphic and difficult to watch. In addition, there may be strong language used by those shown in the video. Viewer discretion is advised, especially for young children and sensitive viewers.
Hello, I'm Captain Giselle Espinoza of Media Relations Division of the Los Angeles Police Department. I'm going to give you a brief overview of an incident that occurred on May 30th, 2020, around 1:55 a.m. Uniformed officers were assigned to crowd control duties at the intersections of 6th Street and South Broadway. As officers were positioned in a skirmish line on the east and west sides of Broadway, the suspect, later identified as 49-year-old Richard Byrd Dotson Jr., drove his vehicle eastbound on 6th Street towards the officers. An officer positioned on the skirmish line fired a 40mm less lethal launcher at Dotson. The 40mm less lethal device fires a foam projectile round. The round strikes the person's body and is intended to cause pain, and while there may be bruising, it is designed to be non-penetrating by distributing energy over a broad surface area. The round penetrated the front passenger side window of the vehicle. Dotson did not sustain any injuries as a result of the projectile. Dotson continued to drive his vehicle eastbound directly towards officers positioned on a second skirmish line located on the east side of the intersection. As Dotson drove through the second skirmish line, an officer-involved shooting occurred. The officer's rounds did not hit Dotson, but they struck his vehicle. Dotson continued driving a short distance before stopping. Dotson was ultimately taken into custody without further incident. No officers were struck by Dotson's vehicle. The incident was not captured on body-worn video. The skirmish line was comprised of officers and detectives. The dynamic and changing nature of the civil unrest required officers to maintain their positions on the skirmish line for extensive periods of time without the ability to leave their posts. The batteries on many of the body-worn video cameras were drained. Detectives are not issued body-worn video cameras due to the nature of their primary duty assignment as detectives. Some of the officers were directed by their supervisor to secure their cameras in their vehicles due to concerns of the cameras being knocked off their uniforms during encounters with protesters. All of these circumstances are under investigation by the department. The incident was captured on surveillance cameras from adjacent businesses. Dotson was transported to an LAPD jail facility where he was treated for an injury which he sustained prior to this incident that was caused by his looting activities. Dotson was cleared for booking by the attending physician. On June 2, 2020, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office filed the following counts against Dotson: 2 counts of attempt murder on a police officer, 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer, and 2 counts of commercial burglary, along with 1 count of receiving stolen property. Richard Byrd Dotson Jr. is a 49-year-old resident of Los Angeles.
In the next several months, the LAPD will continue to investigate and analyze this incident. They'll continue interviewing any new witnesses that may come forward and complete any forensic tests. After the investigation is completed, our Critical Incident Review Division will forward their findings to the Chief of Police, who will make his recommendation to the Civilian Board of Police Commissioners. That board will evaluate the evidence to determine whether the officer's tactics, drawing and exhibiting of a weapon, and use of deadly force in this instance met the high standards expected of all LAPD officers. If you'd like more information on how the LAPD and the LA District Attorney's Office investigates all officer-involved shootings and other serious uses of force, visit lapdonline.org, where you can also find LAPD's use of force policies and procedures. Thank you for taking the time to view this critical incident community briefing.